I think people took offense to science and scientists looking at how bones grow in the womb and where rivers come from and all these questions because it's in the Bible that the Bible says these questions are unanswerable. No man can know them. But it's not the Bible saying that, is it? The Bible, it doesn't say anything. The Bible is a book, a collection of works written down by people, men. They wrote down their thoughts. In Ecclesiastes, the preacher is lamenting, just kind of postulating. We don't know how it all works. He's giving some examples. Like, you don't know how the bones grow in the womb. You don't know how a baby grows. You don't know where you even come from. It's hard to know. He's like, it's impossible to know. You can't know. And I think science is like, no, we can know though. And I think now there's this cultural problem because if we can know, then oh no, is our religion now bunk because we can know? And it says, well, we can't know, therefore God is like all powerful and all this. I think it still stands though. I mean, yes, we now know where the rivers come from and how bones grow. Okay. But there's a lot that we don't know. There's still mystery. Why, where, what are we? What are we? What are we really? The consciousness, how do we come into being really, even if we are just little micro machines, just kind of like springing forth spontaneously based on DNA. I think someone had said DNA's relentless quest for more. I think that's in What the Bleep Do We Know? Just like DNA's relentless quest for more. It's like, yes, and why? And we just have this life that we have these biological urges to continue surviving. But do we have more? I would say something like a tiger or a hyena has a biological urge to survive. And the animals like the scavengers maybe were just a little bit weaker than the ones who were hunting, and so then they were found a different niche. I don't know. And then they just kind of like found another way to survive. And then the ones whose stomachs were a little bit stronger for eating dead stuff, they survived more until now we have animals that can scavenge. Didn't start out like that. Maybe it all kind of started, it just kind of grew together in some kind of like complex and meshed intertwining. The Bible also talks about the ant people. It talks a lot about, I think people of the old days also thought about the different creature societies as people. They kind of are. They just kind of focused on different stuff. Like, somewhere along our genetic line, our ancestors just focused on the stuff that they focused on, and it led us to where we are now. They focused on mating with other ones that were intelligent. So we get intelligence is kind of our thing, our sharp minds. And we've kind of gotten ourselves into a place, evolutionarily speaking, like bodily speaking, where we can understand these things, where we're super smart and we're different. Do we feel out of place? Are we literally from another place? Like maybe like the alien theory where we were planted here by another race. Maybe we came from a dystopian Mars or something like way back in the past. So we have we're literally distinct and different from the conscious beings, the other ones, like the animals. Or did we sprout forth from this stuff? We're inherently intertwined. I think if the preacher were alive today, we'd be having a whole different conversation about what we know and don't know. I don't think he meant it as this is the law. Don't try to figure stuff out, like how bones grow. That's a sin. I don't know. He did not say that, not even hinted at it. But I think things like that are misunderstood and misportrayed to where people think that God is worried about us learning stuff and knowing stuff. I think God likes it when we know stuff. We're trying to figure stuff out here. I think it figures it out for God too. Gives a new perspective to the whole thing. Awareness, increasing awareness of itself, of ourselves, understanding more here. And what do we do with our time? How do we live here best? Probably the way it's described in the Bible, just living quietly on the earth. Just quietly making your way on the earth. Living a peaceful, quiet life. Quiet to the other animals too, to the tree societies. We're not doing big things, chopping many down. We're trying to live quietly on the earth. I think we can all agree to that. I think religious people, well, they have the Bible. Super religious people don't understand it. We can just say, well, it's in the Bible. You have to do it. You believe in the Bible, don't you? And then people who are more given to reason and like logic, it's like, well, living quietly on the earth is sustainable and better in every way. Like, that's kind of obvious. Maybe to everybody it's obvious. Maybe people don't even need to be tricked by saying the Bible says so you have to do it. I also think that's a slippery slope to trick people with the Bible says so, because the Bible says a lot of stuff. Like, the Bible does say you cannot know how bones grow. And it's like, but we can. Like, is that a commandment? Like, I don't know. You could make a case for saying that scientists are going against the Bible if you take that out of context or you read that in a different way. Maybe you don't even have to take it out of context. Maybe you just read a different way and now you have a new thing, a new idea, a new understanding. But what understanding really leads us to more increase in love and understanding? Like, which understanding leads to more understanding, and which understanding leads to like stopping learning and stopping understanding, stopping growth, being damned perhaps. Maybe we want to not dam up knowledge into some kind of big knowledge pool. Maybe knowledge is free flowing like a river. And we go along, guiding and steering and seeing what's next. Goes in spirals, you know.